Have you ever wondered what would happen if yourself or if one of your family members was to get hit by a car and die? About 6 years ago, my mom, my cousin, my brother, and I were driving in Chiloquin. The whole plan was to drop my brother off at his dad's and go home. On the way into Chiloquin, there's a stop sign right next to the church. In the intersection, we stopped like we were supposed to. My mom looked both ways. There were no cars in sight, so she pulled out. Little did she know what was coming our way. I think alcohol should only be sold in bars because of all the teens that get their hands on it and for all of the people who have been abused due to it. Or the person who is inflicting abuse towards others. My brother's in prison right now because of alcohol. Sure, it's fun whenever you're drinking with some of your underage buddies, right? What happens when one of you go over your limit? What are you going to do? Just sit there and let them die? Most teens don't know what to do in an alcohol poisoning situation because they're more scared of what their parents will think if little Johnny from down the road is not only drinking alcohol with the other kid but also getting it through the other kid. Every year approximately 16,000 deaths are caused from teens that drink alcohol. Due to alcohol, they think they are hot stuff jumping behind the wheel of a car or truck. And they are thinking to themselves, I've only had a few, they will be okay to drive home. Little do they know, alcohol affects a person's judgment, motor skills, and sight. When people are under the influence of alcohol, they do not think of the consequences of what could happen if they get behind the wheel. Picture this, your son just got his license, and you let him take the car over to his friend's house to visit. His friend's house is just down the road. It is 12 o'clock. Just got through the summer and fall weather is already showing. On the way home, he wasn't aware that there was an intoxicated driver on the other side of the barrier heading his way. Then all of a sudden, wham! The intoxicated driver falls asleep and jumps over the guardrail and lands right on top of your car, killing your son on impact. Little did you know, the drunk driver was underage and had stolen some of his mom's alcohol out of her personal liquor cabinet. College is not just a place for learning. Well, that is not what most teens think when they are getting ready to go to college. About 336,000 college students say that they have driving home drunk from parties, but that isn't the major problem. People between the ages of 18 and 24 have the highest statistics for abuse, sexual abuse, unsafe sex, and the list goes on and on. We need to act now, people. We need to save the lives of the younger generations and the lives of innocent people. Sure, the people in this over the age of 21 have the right to drink. However, many college students who are encouraged to drink are under the age. The statistics are high. I personally am kind of scared of wanting to go to college because of all the easy access to alcohol nowadays. I mean, it's possible to get hit in your dorm parking lot by a college student driving home from a party. Honestly, I don't feel safe to travel much because of all the wrecks I hear about caused by alcohol. Alcohol has many different effects, especially on teenagers. A teenager who starts drinking early in life will most likely have problems with alcohol later on down the road. Statistics show that people who do not drink stay in school longer than those. People who drink don't stay in school as long as others who don't drink. Teenagers who have tried alcohol have tried committing suicide. Now, why is all of this happening in the first place? It isn't like the alcohol just fell out of the sky right into their hands. Someone either bought it for them, they stole it from a store, or their parents aren't responsible on where they keep the alcohol stored. Most people's families don't lock the liquor cabinet. This is another major problem with alcohol today, and it is so easy for underage people to get their hands on it. I think alcohol should only be sold in bars. That way we can control who gets to drink it. This will save a lot of lives and keep alcohol out of reach of underage teenagers. Also, I think the bartenders either have to be an expert on checking IDs or have a machine that does. I think this would be a good idea because the number of fake IDs people have these days. I mean, you can almost go down to your local convenience store and get an ID made for you. My brother is in prison right now because of alcohol. He decided to get dog wasted and not make the best decisions when he was drunk. But what was coming our way was a drunk driver who just happened to run the stop sign and slam into the side of our car. She had to have been going about 40 miles per hour in a 25 zone, but luckily no one was hurt from the crash. However, if my cousin's window had not have been down, her head would have smashed through, possibly killing her. My brother had just taken off his seatbelt right before we got hit by the drunk driver. Luckily, he was leaned over in the floorboard picking up the soda he had dropped earlier. The fireman said that if my mother had been sitting an inch closer to the steering wheel, her seatbelt could have cut her in half. The fireman said the woman did not get taken to jail or nothing for driving intoxicated. She didn't get any charges for almost slaughtering my family and I. Isn't it illegal to drink and drive? How come she didn't get punished for doing this? These are some of the questions I ask myself every day because of her. I have a bad back and I'm only 18. I will never forget what happened that day, but I will do what I can to try to reduce the chances of it happening to someone else. The message I want you to take from this is why alcohol is so publicly available to everyone and their dogs. If we fight to get alcohol to be sold only in bars, we will save a lot of lives, and not only teen lives, but the innocent people as well.